This is the one and only here on the YouTube channel here, Heavy Metal 95 here. Once again, we got a brand new video, and this time we have a metal song history video once again. Last time we were going to take a look back on the King Diamond Halloween one I did on the 30th of October last time on my previous video. Today we're going to take a look at the song Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth from their album Countdown to Extinction. If you listen to the lyrics of the song Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, this song has... Whoa, sorry about the tablet. I would say these lyrics describing about taking a mortal man, putting it right into the control of how... This lyrics had the protagonist of how this explains to go into the... of how they made him be like some kind of god in that one. And watching people's heads roll. However, this goes to the chorus explaining about how it's like the Pied Piper, which is a little reference to the Pied Piper in these lyrics of how the rats roaming through the streets, dancing like the marionettes, swaying to the Symphony of Destruction for the chorus in the lyrics of what Dave Mustaine did when Megadeth recorded the song. And the lyrics describing how this acts like a robot with the metal brain corrodes, of how these are the lyrics of how this described, of how this taking its own little pulse to its own matter, of how, which is before the head starting to explode, of how, but these are the kind of lyrics of how, for the whole thing, to my whole little countability thing. And not only that, you also have the whole, to my case of how this goes with my curiosity about, however, the lyrics like Earth starting to rumble all in this one of how the world powers fall. Before, with these lyrics about how a warring for the heavens, of what these lyrics describing of how a peaceful man standing tall. Those are the lyrics and the characteristics of how this goes, of how, for what Megadeth had, just to like fill in the whole meaning for what this has following through for this as well, because I just wanted to say about this one. When Megadeth recorded the song Symphony of Destruction, this was back in the early 90s, for what they did as well. And yes, this is the whole... So, for the most part, this was right off their album Countdown to Extinction, which is the 5th album from Megadeth. On its own little element for the way of this. Consider that this song has generally receiving by the critics, including a music video with its own little rotation for MTV, had a lot to do, saying, because MTV thought it was too controversial, so they felt it was too harsh, featuring band member playing in black and white, with a little narrative about those political candidates being assassinated, and it amounts of like those riots and anarchy, of how this song, for what, like the Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth, featured in sources of the media, of how to the structure of how before this goes to the song, for this, like the 4 minutes and 7 seconds long, with the orchestra tuning, with this featuring segment vocals of Demain Jesu Christi from the beginning of the lyrics, Rex Glory from Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's piece Requiem, called Requiem, before we go to the heavy guitar riff. On the whole aesthetic, just considering for what Megadeth did as well. Yes, and even this one did had a music video directed by Wayne Isham on the whole thing, considering, I don't know what, those are the lyrics that have describing its characteristics of how it gets a little serious as well. Yep. Oh, excuse me. So these lyrics are perhaps the most serious lyrics describing its own characteristics in the story for what, of how the little narratives of what these lyrics of what Dave Mustaine did. However, this was originally shown on MTV, but there is the edited version on, they played through a smaller degree. Dave Mustaine has stated it. I think it's more important that our point got across the fact of whether or not we had to soften up a certain scene or loose it together. Yeah, Dave Mustaine has spoken out about this as well, because, and just to give in for the fact, and however, this song, Symphony of Destruction, was featured in an episode of Beavis and Butthead titled Blood Drive. When they were amused by the music video, which is interesting because I never knew they showed Megadeth's music video Symphony of Destruction on in an episode of Beavis and Butthead. Even though the song Symphony of Destruction is released as a hit single from their album Countdown to Extinction, this is the perfect example for what thrash metal has gotten, aside from other songs like Sweating Bullets and Hangar 18. But this song, Symphony of Destruction, takes the cake as from whenever. Along, same goes with Holy Wars, The Punishment Due. Let's not forget about that also, which I almost forgot about that one. Yeah, Dave Mustaine wrote the lyrics for Symphony of Destruction, of how this describes of how these masses led to their own destruction by political leaders. Considering for the song like Symphony of Destruction. And there's a little reference to the Pied Piper of Hamelin being mentioned, like the Pied Piper had the ability of forcing children and rats to follow the demands like the political leaders do to the public. These are just the lyrics of what Dave Mustaine has been describing and telling of how this goes on. Yeah, for the most part, because even though the song has been performing live throughout every decades in the 90s, because everything for what Dave Mustaine did for the lyrics, and I never knew. Consider that this song has been also remixed, and other music groups have covered Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction. Like most other non-metal bands, Three Doors Down have covered Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction playing live over 70 times throughout the years, for those who haven't wondered. Excuse me. So, every artist has covered Megadeth. The Australian thrash metal band called Fury has covered Symphony of Destruction by Megadeth for the album Megadeth, the tribute album Megadeth, a tribute to Megadeth. Same with Hellsongs, has covered Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction for the album Hymns in the Key of 666. Paul Di'Anno, who is the former vocalist for Iron Maiden, has covered Megadeth's Symphony of Destruction for his compilation album The Living Dead. It's not too clear, and no wonder why this has featured in video games like Guitar Hero 5, and Rock Band 3 with a pro guitar bass upgrade. And this is also available as a downloaded content in Rocksmith, along with other songs from Megadeth, such as Public Enemy No. 1, which is from their album 13, and Hangar 18, which is from their album Rust in Peace. As far as if I can now to come to think, because this is the real thing to my little curiosity. It seems quite very interesting. Although this song has been performed live for what Megadeth did throughout every years as well. And yes, they did perform unplugged as well, because when Megadeth has performed it with the acoustic guitars, when they performed live unplugged, the song is good. The lyrics are very serious as well. The guitar solos are unique. The vocals of Dave Mustaine are brilliant. 10 out of 10 for this song. One of my favorite songs from Megadeth. So that's going to be it for my video for today. Thank you for watching. Subscribe to my channel, especially if you're new to the channel. Smack the like button if you enjoyed the video. Hit the notifications bell button for more surprises if you missed anything new. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Like, what is your favorite album from Megadeth? What is your favorite song from Megadeth? Let me know. And this is Heavy Metal 95 signing off, and thank you for watching my video. I'm glad you liked it. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you soon for the next video. Be sure to stay safe and stay healthy. Hope you all have a great day. Take care. Goodbye for now. Keep it metal for this video.